Ebert and Gene Siskel, or Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert, film critics of Siskel and Ebert and the movies, TV's present-day odd couple who, no matter what, are always at odds.
I've always liked Mickey Mouse. I don't know, there's just something, compared to Gene Siskel, Mickey Mouse is just so uncomplicated.
Roger has a tremendous need to think that he's better than I am.
Gene is a guy who is very suspicious of a good time. If he's having a good time, there must be something wrong with it. He's got to look into it a little more deeply. Somehow he must have been fooled. You know, it wasn't really as good as he thought it was. And so he goes through life really basically finding the hole instead of the donut.
How does it explain that each year I managed to come up with a 10 best list? I guess I must have liked 10, huh? Roger's not too smart.
Roger Ebert is film critic of the Chicago Sun-Times. Gene Siskel is film critic of the Chicago Tribune. And even though their offices are just across the street from each other, when it comes to movies, they're miles and miles apart.
I'm competitive with him because I was raised to work on newspapers. I've been working on newspapers since I was 15 years old. And I grew up in a town, Champaign-Urbana in downstate Illinois, which had two competing newspapers, so I grew up on that. He works for the Tribune, I work for the Sun-Times. That makes him my enemy.
The job's a good fit. The show is a good fit. We are competitive, and I think that keeps an honest edge to it, rather than, for example, Gene and Roger present the movies. It's not that at all. It's three separate elements. Gene, Roger, the movies. Three separate things.
Siskel and Ebert have been teamed up as movie critics on TV for the past 11 years. It all started on PBS with a show called Sneak Previews. Now they're syndicated in 130 cities with Siskel and Ebert and the movies. And week after week, they continue to disagree. Here they are on The Golden Child.
I think it's a real silly movie and a real
It is a
funny
silly movie and funny when he is working at the right time.
Well, luckily he's on the screen in every shot so that you weren't often disappointed.
He isn't.
Well, let's say 90% of the time.
I don't know.
Maybe 85. Okay, next movie.
Going down. Mark down sale here.
Oh my God!
Here's Siskel and Ebert on Making Mr. Right.
I wanted this movie, her to break out from the movie, turn to the camera, and just tell me what happened to her that day. I think she's an exciting performer. I want to see her in another script.
But this is, you say this every time you see a movie you didn't like, that you'd rather have a documentary on what they had for lunch.
Yes.
Siskel and Ebert's ongoing battle is a result of being two different people with two different personalities, and they realize that too. In fact, Ebert says he's like Aristotle, practical, and Siskel is like Plato, idealistic.
First of all, I'm flattered that he compared me to Plato. I mean, this is a great moment for me in my life.
I considered it to be an insult.
Yeah. Well, I don't, and I was a philosophy major. I mean, I'll take that any day.
Would you have the generosity to compare me to Aristotle?
No.
Well, why not? Then you'll take Plato, but you won't give me Aristotle.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
The differences between Siskel and Ebert become even more obvious with a look at their offices and the way that they act in them.
Fabulous.
Here's an interesting question. When will you review Hollywood Shuffle? I bet you all know the answer to that. When it comes out. Unbelievable. You say this,
But as odd as they may be, and as much as they fill the roles of the odd couple, Siskel and Ebert are still the perfect match. People watch them and they are successful because of three elements: Gene, Roger, and the movies, and also because of a fourth, their relationship, which ironically includes their mutual respect.
Respect is the key. If he were not a fine film critic, then it would be very difficult to do the show, because I would think that there was a trickster, a game player there, or somebody who wanted to be a star in his own right. He just wants to be a very good film critic.
Gene is not somebody that I would have chosen to be my close friend because he and I are not compatible in terms of our personality types. However, over 11 years, I've come to respect him. I enjoy working with him. I know there is somebody at home across the aisle that's listening and can respond, and that's a relief, and I enjoy working with him. We just don't double date a lot.